Would you believe me if I told you that an Uber driver who was barely making ends meet figured out a simple trick? And within just 6 months, he was making over $100,000 without even quitting his car? Meet David. For years, he worked long hours behind the wheel, 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. Gas prices kept climbing. His car was constantly breaking down. And at the end of every month, he was left with barely enough to cover rent and bills. The harder he worked, the deeper his debt seemed to grow. One night, after dropping off yet another passenger, David sat in his car and asked himself, "Is this it? Is this what my life is going to look like forever?" But then, he noticed something about his passengers that most drivers ignored. Almost every rider he picked up was glued to their phone. They weren't just scrolling. They were shopping, buying, and talking about online businesses. That small observation planted an idea in his mind. What if he could turn his Uber rides into something more than just a drive from point A to point B? The next day, David decided to test a simple experiment. He bought a handful of cheap phone chargers and earbuds in bulk and kept them in his car. Whenever a passenger looked low on battery, he casually asked, "Do you need a charger for the ride?" To his surprise, people loved the convenience and didn't mind paying a few extra dollars. That tiny win gave him confidence. He began thinking bigger. What if he could offer more than just a quick purchase in the car? So he built a small online store. Nothing fancy, just a Shopify site selling affordable electronics and accessories. Then he printed out QR codes and placed them on the back of his seats. Passengers could scan, browse, and order while on the ride. It was genius. Suddenly, his car wasn't just a way to earn fares. It was a moving storefront. Within his first month, David made an extra $500 on top of his driving income. By month 3, word spread, and repeat customers started coming in. He was making over $20,000 in a single month. And by the 6th month, David's side hustle had exploded into a 6-figure business. He quit driving for Uber entirely and focused on building his e-commerce brand full-time. The lesson here is simple. Wealth doesn't always come from working harder or longer hours. Sometimes it comes from looking at everyday situations differently. David didn't invent a new technology. He simply saw an opportunity hidden in plain sight and acted on it. He turned an ordinary Uber ride into a business empire, and it changed his life forever. Want more inspiring millionaire stories and hidden money hacks? Stick around. Your next big idea might be just one video away.